What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, a huge thank you for coming back. We really appreciate you. So today's a pretty exciting day. You guys are standing on the new project for the channel, and it's going to be a little bit of a long-term project, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. Also, I don't know how a lot of you guys are going to feel about this, but I'm excited. I am super excited for this truck. So let's take a look at it. And here we go. This is what was your guys' tripod. Yes, I know we've got a Chevy, well, GMC, but we've got a GM product in the shop, and it's a square body. This thing is freaking cool. Now it's to begin, it's the right configuration, single cab, long bed, love it. Four-wheel drive. The stance, I think it's cool. A lot of you guys probably aren't gonna agree with it, but you know, it's pretty cool. And this thing's got a little bit of a surprise, and I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But basically, the reason why this truck is here is, well, one, it's a buddy of mine's, and two, we're gonna be doing an axle swap on it. As you can see, we've got our axles and a few other things. I'll show you all about that. Also, I mean, check out that. Look at the support. This guy's freaking awesome. You know, he's got the blowing diesel already on the truck. Super cool dude. And yeah, like I said, this truck I think it's freaking awesome. It's cool. So apparently it's a Sierra Classic 2500. Don't look at this yet. Don't look at that. Just gave it away probably, but I mean, super cool truck. I haven't really had a chance to really drive it other than pulling it into the shop. It came in yesterday, but we were like super busy trying to finish some projects that we ended up not even finishing in. And I'll show you here in a little bit what we did yesterday. And then has a little bit of interior work. He's got some Denali seats in it. He's got the same center console that we've got in the crew cab. Pretty cool truck. I know I keep saying that a lot, but and then I think he's got some Dakota digital gauges on it. So now we're gonna be doing like I said, I believe he's got 2015 axles on it, front and rear, Super Duty axles, obviously the best. And then, so we're actually probably gonna be doing coilovers on this thing because it's gonna be kind of hard to fit an actual coil bucket in here due to the weird steering configuration that these trucks come with the gearbox being on the outside. It's a little funky, so I think we're gonna have to figure. That's gonna be the biggest hurdle to figure out is how to do this side. But again, I think we should be able to figure it out. And then in the rear, we're gonna be doing all new hangers and then doing some Super Duty leaf springs on this thing because he actually does plan on using this truck. He pulls his boat with it, so we gotta set it up right so that it can actually tow that thing. But again, super cool truck, and I guess let me show you what makes this truck pretty freaking cool. Oh man, that is a heavy hood, and it is high. So this thing's got a Duramax swap on it. So it's a 6.6 Duramax. I can't remember what year he said it was. So not sure on the whole 3-letter designation to this thing, but it's a Duramax. It's an Allison, and this thing is like smooth, super smooth. It runs really nice. Like it's pretty cool. It cranks over so easily, and we'll obviously fire it up here in a little bit. But so again, like I said, it was a really cool project, and I knew that I definitely wanted to have it here in the shop. And the plan is to try and make some parts for this that we can sell. So we'll see what we can come up with, but the main goal is to make a pretty cool swap on this thing and make it look and ride amazing. Again, we're probably gonna end up going with coilovers. They're gonna be custom valved by TSW, and again, we're super excited with this thing. We're probably gonna do coilovers, and then custom valve shocks in the rear. So it should be a pretty cool ride. Yeah, like I said, this is going to be a little bit of a longer term project. It's not usually when we do swaps. They'll be in here like a weekend, maybe about a week max, depending on what we're doing. But since this thing, we're pretty much starting it from scratch. We gotta come up with all the brackets and everything. It's gonna be in here a few months, so you guys will be seeing this for a little bit, and I'll get to have it here, which I think it's pretty cool. And this thing's a freaking beast. It's on some 37s. 37s, 13 and a half on a 22. So it's definitely stands out, and it is tall. And it's tall, and it's a long jump, especially without a step. So another one of the things we're going to try and do for my buddy is try and fab these electric running boards to it. So we'll see how that goes. And then the tires. For you guys that wanted this thing to be unstanced, I'm sorry. He is wanting to keep about the same setup, obviously, but with the Super Duty wheel bolt pattern. But these 37s, these meaty boys, are actually for me. Those are the ones that are going to be going on the OBS, and I am so excited to see it on those things. The reason why he brought them is because he's actually a tire dealer. I believe he is in Andrews, Texas. And I'll leave his info down below if you guys need any tires or anything like that. He got me these tires, which I'm super excited about them. And these things are some 37s, 13 and a half, R18. So they should fit our truck perfectly. But yeah, I guess the first thing we got to do is, well, obviously fire this thing up and then unload it. So let's go ahead and let's get to that real quick. And before we start it up, I guess let me go through this, because I always get, people always think that because I work on OBS trucks that I'm a Ford guy. I'm not a Ford guy at all. I'm actually not any brand type of guy. I love Ford, Chevy, Dodge. I think they're all awesome if they are pre-2000s. So I'm actually really into like 90s, not so much 80s, but I'm really into 90s and 70s trucks. I think they're all freaking cool. Like I would have any Ford, any Chevy from the 70s. Not so much the Dodges, but I would have anything 90s, any Ford, any Chevy, any Dodge from the 90s, and I guess some from the early 80s, from the late 80s. I think they're freaking awesome. And honestly, like square bodies is probably like my third favorite truck. It would probably be like OBS, dent side, and then square body, and then like a first gen Dodge. I think it's kind of how my hierarchy of trucks go, and then an OBS Chevy probably at the end over there, but they're still really cool. I honestly don't know kind of the future. Obviously I want to have the OBS platform fully covered, and then we're actually going to be doing some cool stuff with TSW. And then obviously, like I said, we'll see what we can make out of this. This is gonna be, if we would make a kit, it would be kind of hard to make it like a bolt-on kit, just because of this whole setup. It's such a weird setup. And then I think the frames on these things, at least they look like they are way narrower than like an OBS, and definitely way narrower than a Super Duty, which is why I'm guessing they put the gearbox on the outside. But again, we'll cross that whole bridge once we get to it. The first thing that we're going to be doing here is kind of taking measurements to see about what length coilovers we got to order and stuff like that, and kind of get a whole bunch of parts coming in so we can actually start working on it. So probably for the next couple of weeks, you're not going to see a lot of it, just because we're going to be waiting on parts. But once we get all of that stuff in, we'll start, hammering away at it. But anyways, I don't even know where I was anymore, so let's go ahead and start this thing up. Alright, so I'll leave you guys over here and let's see how this works out. Hopefully you can still hear me, but this thing is running And again, it's so smooth, like so freaking smooth. I'm so used to like a 7.3 being so noisy, and like compared to this thing's so smooth. I don't even know what the exhaust dumps on this thing. Somewhere in here, I think. Okay guys, there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that a little bit. Again, I can't wait to go freaking drive this truck and see what it feels like. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, let's go ahead and unload this thing and get it sitting right, because as you can see, it's definitely sitting a little bit weird. But that's just because it's got all the way from the axles basically on one side. So we'll go ahead, get this thing unloaded, and we'll move on with the rest of the video. Okay guys, so we just got done unloading Dirty Girl. By the way, that's the name of this truck, Dirty Girl. And I gotta say, having this forklift is one of the coolest freaking things ever. I absolutely love it. Like, it made unloading this truck a breeze. We've got the tires off, we got the axles off, a couple other things out of it. We only have the drive lines left in this thing, but we'll probably leave those in there for now, because this space gets filled up pretty fast. But again, except this thing is freaking awesome, being able to have it like it. Trying to unload this truck with how tall it is with the cherry picker would have been fun. I probably would have ended up using as lift to unload it, but definitely a huge help having the forklift. Also, you know you're old or really out of shape, or both, when you got to use a step ladder to get in the back of a truck. I mean, it is a little bit lifted, you know, a lot of it lifted, but yeah, definitely old and out of shape. But now with the truck unloaded, you can see how it sits, which sits pretty damn good. Like I said, it's a beast of a truck. It's definitely quite a bit taller than my truck, but it's pretty freaking cool. One of the things that I'm going to work around is those Duramax swap brackets. Let's figure out if I can keep them there, or if I gotta fab something different. But man, yeah, I'm definitely really excited about getting this thing done. It's gonna be a really cool project, I think. Oh, let me actually show you the projects that we started working on yesterday. I was gonna try and show you and film a lot of this stuff, but it was a really loud day in the shop yesterday. We gotta get here kind of late, and our neighbors were already here. But basically, I worked on this table. I cut about 3 feet off of this thing. We shortened it up a little bit. We added casters to it, so it moves really easily now. We did that plywood at the bottom, so we have an actual shelf. This thing rolls so nice now. So we have storage for all of our hardware, and then we're gonna have all of this for our packaging. And then we made this really cool slide out shelf, or what would you call this? I don't know, but it is gonna be super cool, because I can be over here cleaning all of the parts and everything, and then once I'm ready to package it, I can just slide that out, throw the box in there, fill it up, tape it up. Once it's done, close it up again, and start with the next box. So really, really happy about that. Okay guys, so I'm actually really excited to show you what's in this box. I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and one finally came up for sale. And it might be kind of dorky, but I think it's really cool, and I think a lot of you guys are really gonna like it. So let's go ahead and open this thing. Okay, so I did open this last night because, like I said, I've been really excited to get this thing. So I couldn't help myself, but man, this thing is freaking cool. This thing's almost as old as I am. It was made in 1996. Oh, I opened it backwards. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna show you the belly, and obviously you can see what it is now. But look at this detail on this thing. It's a model of a 1996 F-150, and this thing is so freaking nice. So, I opened it backwards. Let's go ahead and pull it out and show you the top side of this thing. Again, I know this is really dorky, I know, but this is a Franklin Mint F-150 from 1996, and it's basically a scale model, a replica, and you guys wouldn't believe how accurate this thing is and how freaking cool it actually is. Like, it's freaking awesome. It's really not that big. It's maybe about 9-10 inches, but it is a cool truck, and it's almost like a perfect replica of my truck, except this thing's a F-150 with the 351. So, and the light in here sucks, but it's got this little engine in there. Tailgate open and closes. Both doors open and close, and then like even the center console, the flip down seat moves. How freaking cool is that? And then like the interior is so nice. Guys, I am so excited about this truck. I'm a little embarrassed about how much I paid for it, so I'm not gonna tell you guys. But it's something, like I said, that I've been looking for a very long time, and I think it's freaking cool. I mean, the wheels turn, and then the steering wheel turns with the wheels. Man, I'm just so stoked that I was able to find this thing and have one of these. I think they're the coolest things ever. I was so stoked of just being able to buy it, but last night when I got it, I was a little kid just freaking laughing, smiling when I got this thing. So freaking excited about it. Don't mind the big hole in my wall, but it's such a freaking cool little truck. Like, I love all the detail. Like, it's got a spare tire. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is that it has like no actual working suspension, but it's not a toy. It's a replica, so you're not really supposed to be playing with it. But like, you can see the front like axle and like the axle shafts and everything for the front TTV. It's so freaking cool. I would love to find another one of these and make it like an actual replica of my truck. Like, the only thing that kind of sucks is that the tailgate doesn't close, just permanently open. But yeah, like, find another one of these. Hopefully one that's a little bit more beat up and actually used. This thing was pretty much brand new, or at least like it was always kept in like its actual display case, because it's like absolutely just mint. But yeah, like try and find another one that's maybe a little bit more beat up or something, and like get an actual replica of my truck, like do an axle swap on it and stuff, and paint it like my truck. Well, paint it like how I want to paint my truck. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for another one of these and see if I can get it. But anyways, like this is just so cool. And then like it comes with the coolest freaking paperwork to it. It comes with this freaking poster thing. Again, I think it's super cool that I was able to find this thing and in the condition that it was. But yeah, like this is so cool. Oh man, I'm a little kid. I know. All the specifications. So it's got the apparently 352, 200 horsepower, 4-speed automatic. Shows the wheelbase. It's actually pretty cool. I would agree. I wonder where this thing was made. I feel like it's got to be made in the U.S. I don't know, but it is cool. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's from 1996 that they made this. So it's the same year as my truck, same color, same configuration, just, you know, F-150. But yeah, again, like I said, kind of dorky, but I think is freaking cool. But I'm gonna go ahead. I bought this little display case for it, so we're gonna throw it in there and see what it looks like. Oh, is it gonna fit? Not with the door open. Oh. Nope, it'll fit. Barely, but it fits. Oh man. I'm just so happy to have this damn thing. It is so freaking cool. But yeah, guys, that's just a little bit of my dorkiness just showing through. Oh man. But yeah, guys, I mean, hopefully you guys are excited about Dirty Girl. Again, like I said, it's gonna be a pretty fun project that we're gonna be working on for the next couple of months, and I think it's gonna end up being pretty freaking cool. I'm definitely really excited about this thing. I mean, just look at it. Like I said, you can't say anything about a square body. Like they look so freaking cool. And in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, but I think square bodies are the only trucks that look good with the cowl hood. Like they need a cowl hood. It just looks proper. Oh boy, I'm excited to work on this thing. It's gonna be really fun. But yeah, guys, hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you don't find me any dorkier than I am already. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like, leave any comments that you have down below, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.